This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author of the book Redefining Anxiety, is my co-host today, and we're going to answer your questions about your life and your money. If you've not heard the Dr. John Deloney Show yet on podcast, it is our fastest growing podcast at the moment, and you should chime in. He talks all about mental health and boundaries and your crazy relatives and your crazy self and whatever's going on out there that we need to deal with relationships and so forth. And it is an informative, fun, and sometimes really poignant show. So be sure and tune into the Dr. John Deloney Show. Sometimes.
Rarely.
No, it is. It is. I was listening to it this morning. I listened to the podcast that dropped this week, and it's very good. It's very good. And it's even going back and reviewing some of your first shows because it's the anniversary edition that just dropped, your first year.
Can we've been doing this for a year.
You've been doing it for a year.
That's a weird twist of fate, man. What a weird world. Good grief. Wherever you happen to be, ladies and gentlemen, it could all be very different a year from now.
Yeah, well, and or 30 years from now.
Yeah.
No, you never know. So.
Or in your case, 111. But it's good. It could always be different. It could always be different.
Yeah, well, we can help you with that if you want to shorten it. 111?
I don't know. I don't think you're that old.
Open phones at 888-825-5225. Get him out of this before he gets in trouble. Brian's in Quincy, Illinois. Hey, Brian, what's up?
Hey, how are you doing today, guys?
Better than I deserve. How can we help?
Well, my wife and I live in a small town. It's about 1,000 people, and we're having a hard time finding a house to kind of grow, a bigger house for us. So we're thinking about adding on. Currently, our house does not have a garage, so part of the addition would be a 2-stall garage and then adding a mudroom with laundry room and half bath and then extending our living room as part of it. We don't know if that's a wise decision. However, there's no houses for sale in our small town, but if they are, they're either way too small or way out of our budget. Mm-hmm. Just looking for a little advice.
Okay. Well, there's nothing to compare it to, obviously. You don't have a lot of options if you're going to stay in that little town. How close are you? How close are you to another town that you could just move over one?
Well, we really like the school system. That's the problem. It's a small town community. The town I work in is 20 minutes away, and it's about 5 times as big of a school system. We just love the small town community where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but not if you're going to spend $200,000 that you're going to lose.
No. The addition's around $50,000 to $55,000.
You have the cash?
No, we would have to. Basically, we're kind of looking at it as if we bought a house, we would do a construction loan and then roll that into a permanent mortgage.
Yeah.
But everything would be.
And what's your household income?
Our household income is just about $72,000.
Okay. And what's your current first mortgage amount?
$70,000.
Okay. Well, I mean, you got $120,000 in this house when you're done, and it's a difficult market to sell a house in. So that's what you're signing up for. You're signing up for a long-term play.
Okay.
And probably not a lot of escape hatches for this. So be careful about rationalizing it or justifying it or whatever and moving on past common sense. So, I mean, what you've described is not completely out of control. It just sounds very... Let me just tell you, anytime in my life, here's what's bothering me, okay? You can go ahead and do it, Brian, if you want to do it. That's fine. Okay, but here's what's bothering me, and I want to put the principle out there for you, for me, for everybody else. Anytime I start saying to myself, there's only one way to solve this problem that makes any sense at all, that means I have not thought about this enough, and I'm getting ready to make a stupid butt error. Mm-hmm. And that's the way you've described this whole situation. And that's what's bothering me about it. Okay? Because you've clipped the edges off of this thing 6 different ways to where there's no way to come to any possible other conclusion other than the one you have come to. And I always like to have a whole bunch of options, or just back up and throw a grenade in the middle of it, and just to make me rethink what if, because every time I clip the edges off of it, I say, well, the school system, and well, the other houses in the town, and then you came to this, and then there's this, and then there's that, and we got to have something bigger, and you just keep, you keep working your way down to where there's only one possible way to solve this issue because of the limitations you put on the decision. You set yourself up with a decision-making framework for making a mistake.
That's right, and I don't like this for a couple different reasons, Dave. I don't like it because he's adding garage. He's going to add square footage to this home, but it's not going to be stuff that's generally counted, right? It's going to be a half bath and then a garage space and some storage space, and it'll be nice features, but it's not like he's adding a bedroom or a master bathroom, things that are easily ROI'd, right?
Well, you say a living room built in there, but
but an extension. But you've got that, and then I always want to push back on this. This is the only school.
Yeah.
It's smaller, it's this, and usually that comes from a lot of internet research, or that's the way I did it, or some mythology. Me and my wife had to deal with the fact that our kids' school experience is different than ours. And I keep leaning back towards there's the right way to do it, which happens to be the way I experienced it, and then have to breathe and exhale and realize there's a whole bunch of different ways to do school. And I'd much rather see him look closer to work and think about the life he could get back, $50,000. What could that buy him in that community that he could sell again? I love the way you framed it. We just usually reverse engineer. You know what I really want is a cool garage. We need a bigger living room. And I'm going to make these facts fit this narrative. And then I'm going to have to go borrow money and do something silly.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't like it.
There's something about it. I don't like how you came to the conclusion, but the conclusion is not completely off the table. Yeah. So, again, if you want to go ahead and do it, I'm not going to yell at you and call you stupid or something like that. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm just saying that anytime somebody calls me up and goes, there's only one way, that always bothers me because every time I do that, I screw it up.
I would love, I think it'd be worth a trip for you and your wife to go down and meet with the principal of a local school by where you work and just feel what that'd be like. Maybe you've already done that, but I would think that'd be worth doing it.
Oh, interesting idea. All right. Coming up next is Jonathan in Salt Lake City, Utah. Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Great, Dave. Appreciate the influence you've had on me and my adult children. It's made a huge difference.
I'm honored.
Listen, my wife and I have been debt-free since 1994. We have 6 rental properties, and the Salt Lake real estate market has gone up like a rocket, and we've really benefited. Our children, each of our 3 adult children, still have home loans. We're thinking of selling one of our 6 rental properties. It was an exchange property, and giving each of them $100,000 to reduce the principal balance on their loans so that they'll get them paid off sooner. So what we're trying to do is accelerate them getting out of debt.
I love it. I would do that. Now, what you do need to do is you need to talk to your tax advisor because you're going to want to take a unified estate tax credit because you cannot gift somebody $100,000, even your own kid, without getting into gift tax unless you use the unified estate tax credit. So talk to your estate planner, your tax advisor on how to do it. But the concept, paying off your kids' houses, you're changing the family tree.
I love it, man.
I would have a caveat on there that they're not going to go back in debt. You don't go buy a new Cadillac as soon as I pay off your house, right? But we're going to go that direction. Stop paying your overpriced wireless provider and switch to Pure Talk. They use the same network as the larger providers for much less. For just $30 a month, get unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data with no contract. The average family saves over $70 a month by switching to Pure Talk. Just go to puretalk.com and enter the promo code Ramsey to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk, simply smarter wireless. Open phones this hour. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. You jump in. We'll talk about your life and your money. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Hey, homeschool parents, we know that preparing your teen for the real world can feel like a big job, especially when it comes to teaching them complicated money topics. But you can do it, and our homeschool curriculum can help. Foundations in Personal Finance has helped over 5 million students learn the money lessons that they need now and down the road. Best part is it has all the lesson plans, the video content, activities already created, giving you some needed time back in your day if you're a homeschool parent. Text HOMESCHOOL to 33789 to learn more about changing personal finance curriculum for middle and high schoolers. Homeschool to 33789. Naveal is with us in Charlotte. Hi, Naveal. How are you?
Hi, Dave. Very happy to be on your show. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm 23 years old. I just got a new job. I'm making $87,000 a year before taxes. And I'm not really sure when I'm going to be married or have a house within the next possibly 3 to 5 years, but I do want to save up for them. Do you feel as though I should continue with me not knowing when I'm going to have those actions? Do you think I should save up for them still in like a CD or a bank account, or should I invest that money into a mutual fund as I'm doing with the rest of my money?
Great. Good job. What are you doing for a living?
I am a project manager with a company that ships stuff to your house. It has a little smiley face on it.
Oh, that one. Okay. 87,000. Awesome at 23 years old. That's impressive, sir.
That's awesome.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, first thing is we have to be debt-free and have an emergency fund. Have you done that?
Yes, I'm technically past baby step 3. I do have about 3 to 6 months of expenses. My expenses have changed because I just moved back in with my parents as I got this job, but I do have what was 6 months of my previous expenses.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'd go ahead to baby step 4 and put 15% of your income aside for retirement. Beyond that, you're saving and investing for these other things you're talking about. And, the closer to 5 years that you're going to have that money parked, the more likely I would be to move towards mutual funds. When mutual funds are volatile and they go up and down because the stock market goes up and down. But if you leave it alone 5 years, you have a very high probability of making money on it, percentage-wise. The number of 5-year periods that have lost money is almost none, but twice as many 2-year periods have lost money. So you got about a 50-50 chance at 2 years of losing money or making money. But if you're parked in a savings account, you're making 1%. So if I'm 23, I'm going to play that because you don't have any set plan right now for when you're going to buy. You don't have any set plan for marriage, those kinds of things. So I'm going to go ahead and play that long play because it's probably going to be pretty close to 5 years before you have to actually cash that in and use it. Is that agreed?
Yes, that makes a lot of sense.
Are you dating somebody right now?
Yes, I am. But the way my job kind of works, I travel a lot, so I don't really have a home location, and thus I don't really know whether or not I'm going to be moving in with this person or marrying them really anytime soon.
That sounds more like a relationship issue than a job issue, but we can say that for another phone call. How about that? Good deal. Yeah, I want to know if he was just thinking, I hope to maybe someday a spouse will fall out of the sky, or we're getting there. We're getting closer there.
Yeah, that's a good clarification.
That's incredible. 23 years old, way down the road there. That's fantastic. Well
done. Michaela is with us in New York City. Hi, Michaela. How are you?
Good. How are you, Dave?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So, me and my husband, we got married last year in March 2020, and our first goal was to pay off my husband's student debt and credit card, which was $28,000, and that was together. We live here in Long Island, New York, and I have some student debt overseas. So I'm originally from Sweden, and I have a $29,000 student loan, but my interest rate is 0.05.
I don't care.
Which means that right now I only pay $12 a year, and I'm not taking any further loans, so it's...
So you want to keep it like it's a pet because it doesn't eat much?
Now, the dilemma is that we want to start a family in the near future, and we live in a one-bedroom apartment. And, we are just debating if we should.
No debate. Pay it off. Pay it off. Pay it off. Don't start a family while you're still chained to something overseas.
Yeah, let's get that paid off as soon as possible. If you have a baby before the student loan is gone and before you have the money to move into a different property, then just move to a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, we have $18,000 saved up right now.
Oh, good. How much is the student loan?
$29,500?
$29. Yeah.
Oh, good. Well, you only got $10,000 left, so pay $18,000 on the student loan today.
Pay it off.
Are you there?
It's emotional.
It is. But here's what's going to be real emotional. When you start your family with chained to nothing.
Yeah, here's the thing. The question you're really asking us is, what is the shortest distance between where I am today and being stable financially and wealthy financially? And the shortest distance is don't screw around with a student loan and keep it around like it's a freaking pet. You have to kill that thing and get rid of it, and that will give you more stability and a shorter distance to wealth and stability, financial peace for you and your family, than keeping it around and it's in the closet growing and munching over there and just chomping like some kind of monster in the closet, like some kind of cartoon or something. And no. Clean up your life. When you have no payments, you feel different physically. When you have no payments, your relationships are changed. When you have no payments, your mind is clearer to make better decisions. You're a better mom. No question about it. And it's not to say if you're a bad mom if you have debt. No, don't give me those stupid tweets. But the point is, I mean, when your mind is clear and free of the anxiety and the stress associated with debt, it opens you up to be a better husband, better wife, better employee, better version of you.
You sleep better, you eat better, you just walk through life better.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's what we want for you.
And yes, you're going to have another year of saving for a house, and that's okay.
Voop-de-doop-de. You got plenty of time. Tom is in Omaha, Nebraska. Hey, Tom, how are you?
Good, Dave. How are you today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Well, just I've been listening to you a lot of years, and I thought, hey, it's time to give you a call. About a year ago, my mom passed away and left some land and some money with us. I have about $100,000 cash I parked, and I just thought, hey, just leave it sit for a while till everything gets kind of calmed down, and then decide what to do. Just curious if I should pay my house off or debt-free except the house. We do have 6 months emergency fund set up, so I didn't know if I should pay the house off.
Sure.
And move on. I'm 64. Didn't know if that mattered.
Sure.
But,
why wouldn't you?
Well, here's the reason I called you. I had a guy, not one of yours, not one of your trained people, which I am going to look into next week, but he wanted to sell me an annuity, $100,000 annuity, and I said, no, I'm not going to do it. I've been listening to Dave long enough. I'm going to run like the wind and get away from that. And so then I got thinking, well, should I invest it into
Let me ask you this, Tom. Number one, you knew what I was going to say before you called, right?
I did. I've been listening to you for a lot of years.
I mean, so this is we're just chasing our tail. We're just chasing our tail here. But here, reverse engineer it for a second. You're 64. Okay. I'm turning 61 this week. Okay, about the same age.
All right.
You're sitting there in a paid-for house. Would you go borrow on it to invest the money?
Absolutely not.
Same dadgum thing, dude.
Imagine being 64 and heading into retirement with no payments on your house and just being completely free.
Imagine doing that by 5 p.m. today.
What a gift that your mom will have left you there. That's incredible.
This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Mike and Carrie are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Better than we deserve, Dave. How about yourself?
Just the same, sir. Where do you guys live?
Lakeside, Arizona.
And what's that near?
It's near Flagstaff.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful area. Cool. Welcome to Nashville.
Thank you, sir.
And here to do a debt-free scream, how much did you pay off?
We paid off $288,495.
Ooh, nice. How long did this take?
6 years and 3 months.
Way to go. And your range of income during that 6 years?
So we started at $21,450 and ended at $121,860,000.
That's a little jump. Okay. What do you guys do for a living now?
I am a management analyst for the state of Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the office manager for a construction company.
Ah, very cool. What kind of debt was this $288? I'm guessing with 6 years might have been your house.
Personal loans, house, credit cards, cars, and mostly student loans.
But we sold the house to help pay off some of that debt.
Oh, the house is gone.
The house is gone, yeah.
Where are you living?
We have a different house that we stay in now. We sold that one, though, to help catapult us.
Okay. And the one you're in now paid for?
No.
No, okay. All right. So, okay. I want to make sure I get my story straight. So you had a bunch of student loan debt?
Yes.
About $133,000.
Wow. What was that from? What was the degrees?
Mine is in business management.
Mm-hmm.
And mine's in health information systems.
So about half each, or?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Good for you guys. Okay. So how long you guys have been married?
20 years today.
Oh, happy
Congratulations.
anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice. So, what in the world happened 6 years ago to put you on this journey?
So the end of 2014, November, he'd gotten laid off from his job, and I was about a week away from having our fourth son. And working part-time, we were already living paycheck to paycheck, and that really that killed everything we were doing.
Yeah.
So
That's scary as crap.
it is. I had heard you on the radio driving our kids to school in the morning, and it had always struck a chord with me. So we had talked about it and decided that was better than what we were currently doing. And when we got our tax return that January, we ordered several of your books. And as soon as I started reading them, I was hooked. He worked on finding employment again, full-time. I went from part-time at my company to full-time employment. We both took a second job doing our ride share in our community,
Wow.
working nights and weekends.
Wow.
And then a few years into the journey, I actually had the opportunity to teach your college curriculum for our local community college.
Nice.
So at one point, we were working 5 jobs
Wow.
with 4 boys and just kind of chipped away at it. It took us 6 years, obviously, but we did it.
Well, it sounds like the income has been on a journey
It has, yeah.
all over the place. Wow. And not afraid of hard work either.
No.
Way to go.
Willing to
you
put it
guys.
in.
It's kind of cool. Was the community college paying you to teach Dave's class?
Yes.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's a win on top of a win.
It was awesome. I loved teaching it.
That's fantastic.
Well, thank you for doing that, and thank them for paying you.
That's
good.
exactly right.
Life is good. That's a good. That's
kinda like the scam I'm running.
Everybody's winning in this
Right.
story. I like it. Very cool, man. That's a long journey.
It is.
How do you stick with it for a 6-year grind?
So hard work and dedication, and if you fall off the wagon, so to speak, just hop back on and just get back on track.
Yeah. Not every day was perfect on the journey, obviously, that long. So you just have to forgive yourself, make those mistakes, and move forward.
Carrie, when you were telling us the story about when he lost his job and you were pregnant, you grabbed his hand real tight, as though that's still sitting right there on your chest.
It's a good and a bad moment.
Okay.
It got us to where we are now. I wouldn't change it now, but in the moment, we were terrified.
Yeah.
That's still with you. That'll probably be with you for a while. What about you, man? Was that scary coming home, having to let your wife know?
Your pregnant wife know you just lost your job?
Yeah, I almost didn't want to tell her, but
I would not almost. I would.
right,
Didn't want to at all. Yeah.
right.
It was a week before we had him. So it was, and it was right before Thanksgiving. So it was
course.
just,
Yeah.
it was a tough time.
Wow.
And kudos to you, man, for dusting yourself up
Thank you.
and getting back out there and saying that I'm going to do 2 and 3 and 4 jobs. We're going
Right.
to make this thing happen. Good for you, man.
Both
Thank you.
It's incredible.
We also cash
Incredible.
flowed several things during that time. Medical, we have 4 boys, so
It's a lot of medical.
a lot of medical, vehicle repairs, and he's going for another degree right now. So we've been cash flowing all of that. And
Excellent.
finished baby step 3, so we're on to 4, 5, and 6.
Excellent.
Incredible. Good
Well
for
done.
you guys. That's
Well
awesome.
done.
Thank you.
Proud of you guys. Great job, rock stars.
Thank you, sir.
Absolute heroes, man. That's amazing. Very, very, very
6
cool.
years. Wow.
Good stuff. Well, we got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in your story for sure. To move on to Baby Steps Millionaires now. That's
right.
That's where we're headed. And of course, Total Money Makeover, so you can give that away and get someone started on their journey, because you'll bump into somebody. You know you will.
Right.
There's no way around it. They're everywhere that need to know this information. So, good stuff. All right, Mike and Carrie from the Flagstaff, Arizona area. $288,000 paid off. 6 years and 3 months, making 21 to 121 over that 6 years. Up to 5 jobs at one point. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free!
If you don't have any payments and you make 121, you can put some money back and turn everything around. They just turned a corner and they don't even know it.
Oh, man. And she looks at him like she likes him. This is so good. And vice versa.
Yeah. Well,
You go through 6 years of hell together to come out on the other side. And, man, I don't know, that light shines a little bit brighter on that person sitting next to you, right?
Yeah. This is...
we can do anything.
We've been battling together.
Yeah, we can do anything.
Absolutely.
That's incredible, guys.
Powerful stuff. Christopher is with us in Richmond, Virginia. Hi, Christopher. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, guys. How are you doing?
Better than I deserve. How can I help?
Okay, so let me just give you a rundown of basically like who I am and my background. So I'm a 22-year-old senior at Virginia Tech, actually. So fingers crossed, hopefully this year I'll be done. I'm going to have $14,000 in loans after I'm done with everything, which is pretty good considering I haven't had to pay anything yet for school, and financial aid has just covered everything. Basically, right now I have $24,000 saved up and $700 in stocks and stuff like that. Right now, my major is in sports media and communication, so I'm just going to stick with it as I'm a senior right now, so there's really no point in switching it.
Before I run out of time, what's your question, Christopher?
Basically, my thing is I don't love my major anymore, and I'm passionate about the sports side of media anymore. And I've been looking more into stocks and basically just like looking at stocks and real estate. So my thing is, what can I do to set myself up for success? But now that I'm basically lost in life, I've never felt so lost at one point in life. So at this point, I just don't know where to turn or what to do with my money or anything.
Okay. As far as the money part goes, you graduate and you're going to have a degree in sports management, which gives you some business background and some business classes under your belt, and you can walk into the financial world and use that. You can walk into the real estate world and use that.
That's right.
You do not have to go back for a master's in one of those areas. I wouldn't.
No, absolutely.
Wouldn't spend the money. You've got the money in the bank to pay off your student loan. As soon as you get gainfully employed, I would do that. And the rest is your emergency fund. And then let's start investing and working on your career, getting your income up and getting moving. I think you can do it.
And there's this illusion that everyone who graduates with their major, you think that everyone around you walking through their senior year has it all together. And what I want to tell you is everybody else is scared too. The world's chaotic. It feels even more chaotic. And when you're looking at the job boards and the this and the that, I'm not keen on this. Don't stress yourself out. Don't psych yourself out. You've gotten this far. You're going to be good to go. And like Dave said, that degree you have can send you in any number of directions in the business world.
You know, we do not have a single sports team at Ramsey, not one. And you could walk in here, interview, and we would look at you for a position.
Absolutely.
Based on the way you carry yourself, based on what you could bring to the table in the particular area you're trying to deal in. And, you should have some academic underpinning to be able to add value in some businesses somewhere. And that have nothing to do with sports.
I want you to find one or two men in your life that are ahead of you, 5 years ahead of you, 10 years ahead of you, and just sit down and say, hey, I'm about to graduate in a year, kind of starting to freak out a little bit. And I'm nervous and I'm uncomfortable. And let them speak some wisdom and truth into you.
Yeah.
We've all been.
If they're the right kind of man, they'll say, I was too, and I am still sometimes.
Yep.
Because all of us are sometimes. This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, is my co-host today. He's also the author of the bestseller Redefining Anxiety. It's one of our quick reads. It's an 80-page quick read on redefining, give you a whole new look on anxiety. And most everyone struggles with it at some level, some debilitating, some passing and driving by, some ongoing. But hey, it's a word we are all well acquainted with. So check it out. Sometimes it helps it to... It makes it behave to give it a proper name.
It just demystifies the whole thing.
There you go. Yeah, to properly label things and not falsely identify yourself with them. So, yeah, check it out. Redefining Anxiety. It'll help you. You can also join John on his show, the Dr. John Deloney Show, one of our fastest-growing podcasts here. Ask John at RamseySolutions.com. Send in an email. Kelly will get back with you, make you part of that show, and we'd love to have you. Brandon is with us. Brandon is in Cool Springs, Colorado Springs, Colorado. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
I'm doing great, Mr. Ramsey. Dr. John, thank you so much for taking my call.
Sure. What's up?
Yeah, just calling to see if I can kind of do a little bit of a Susie Orman thing with you. I have
probably
me and my
better do
wife
a Dave Ramsey thing with me.
Yeah,
Susie's
I
not here.
wouldn't do that.
Yeah, sort of does it fit into the Ramsey plan here? We're looking to purchase a home in the mountains. It's going to be a vacation home, kind of near one of my ski resorts I love going to.
Cool. You got the money?
So we're looking. I'm so sorry.
You have the cash?
To purchase it cash?
Yes.
No, but we do have a down payment.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it. A second home is a toy, and you pay cash for toys if you want to be wealthy. I've got a lake house I'm heading to this afternoon when I get off the air. And I paid cash for it a long, long time ago, and then I rebuilt another one on the same property and paid cash for that, and I absolutely love it. I would have, 23 years later, hated the stinking thing, however, if I had been paying payments on it as much as it sits empty. And it's just you're just not ready to buy a second home. You don't need to be doing vacation homes when you don't have the money to pay for them.
What do you tell somebody, Dave, that has this imaginary spreadsheet with all of the Airbnb guests they're going to have to float it all, and it becomes this funny math? Where we talked about this earlier.
Here's the thing: using debt to do stuff like this only works when it works, and nothing ever works in life the way you think it's going to.
Never.
Never. The best laid plans of mice and men. You just know. You can project this yellow brick road experience. And then you'll run into the Wicked Witch
every time,
and the flying monkeys, and those little Oompa Loompa guys look like poodles with the curved swords. Yep. Ooh, wow, yep. Remember them? Yeah, you're going to run into all these things along the way. The yellow brick road is fraught with danger.
That's right,
including stupid strawmen that have no brain. They're out there everywhere. And, this is what you run into. So this stuff only works if it works, and nothing ever goes exactly as planned. And the beautiful thing is when you own a bunch of rental property and you don't have any payments and there's a pandemic or something and some of your tenants can't pay because they lost their jobs, it's not their fault, you can grant mercy. But when you have payments, you're the one needing mercy.
That's right.
And but those tenants will pay off that rental property for you. You heard that crap? See, that's that yellow brick road thing. You left out the flying monkey.
Yep.
You left out the pandemic. You left out the big bad wolf. I'm going to mix up a bunch of different stories here together in this metaphor, but but you see what I'm saying? And that's the problem is
it happens every time, too.
It does.
Every time.
Life is predictable. Life is happening. It's going to happen.
I'd never thought of a vacation home. I love the way you said it's a toy.
Yeah.
It's a toy. It's fun, especially
if you want to buy a four-wheeler, a motorcycle, a boat, it's a toy.
Yep.
But if you got to put payments on it, that just means you're too broke to have it.
That's right.
And because I added up when I was broke because I'm a water skier. I love the lake. I love the mountains too, like he does. I'd love to have. I don't have a ski house, but I wouldn't mind having one. They're wonderful. And but I added up one time when I had payments on a boat when I first started doing this stuff about 30 years ago. It's longer than that ago. But I added up with the payments I was making on the boat, the insurance on the boat what it costs me per minute to ski. I averaged out that I was going to ski this many times a year, and I would ski 10 minutes this run, I'd ski 5 minutes that run, I'd ski 15 minutes that run, and I added it up, and a buddy of mine started telling me about how he needed a better bass boat. And so I added up per pound what the bass was costing him, and it was something like $14,000 a pound, or something. I mean, it was like.
Okay, so hey, that's a good question then. How do you decide? So if this guy's going to try to buy a ski house that he likes, and he goes and visits it 7 times a year, which would be a lot of ski trips.
You cannot financially justify it.
So it only time it's justified is when you've got the cash in hand.
It's not financially justified.
And it's not about investment. It's about
it's not harming my life.
There you go.
Because it does not make sense.
It's a lifestyle choice.
Okay. You've been to my lake house. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you say.
I mean, that one makes sense. That's a pretty cool house.
It's a beautiful home.
It's a cool house.
And it's a great investment. It's gone up in value. That's fine. But, the number of hours we spend there, the number of weekends we spend there, the amount of time we spend on the water, could we not rent an Airbnb on the lake and come out millions of dollars ahead? Absolutely we could. Yeah. But we've got the money, and it doesn't hurt our financial situation because we're not paying payments on it.
Gotcha.
And so, but when you've got to look at it because it truly is a toy. Mm-hmm. You cannot justify.
I love that idea.
You can't financially justify these things at all. Mm-hmm. None of them. They don't make sense. And so, with what you spend on a vacation home, how many times you can rent just outside Colorado Springs, I've done it. You can rent the 15,000 square foot mansion on the side of a mountain, ski in, ski out for $30,000 a week. $30,000 a week.
Right.
Okay. And if you go 4 weeks a year, okay, that's $120,000, right?
That's right.
And so, how long does it take you to get to $5 million?
That's a lot of weeks.
You cannot financially justify it.
Right.
You can't financially justify it. But if you've got $100 million and you want to drop $5 million in that thing, it's a toy, and you can afford it. Then it doesn't matter that it doesn't financially work. It's a place that's yours, it's your family's, it's memory. The difference between a $5,000 car and a $25,000 car, you can't justify it financially. But if you can afford it, it's okay to take that bit of a luxury.
There you go. I like it.
It's the same kind of a thing. Because both of them will get you from point A to point B. So shut up, stop your whining.
Right.
And both of them probably got air conditioning. So shut up and stop your whining. And both of them are somewhat reliable. So shut up and stop your whining. So the difference in a $5,000 car and a $25,000 car is a want.
Right.
And it's okay. I'm not against wants on this show, but you got to pay cash for them. Because the upgrades are luxury.
There you go.
And it's living like no one else, so later you can live and give like no one else. So put yourself in that position is what I would do.
I love that, Dave. I love it. I love it.
That's the direction to go. And I want you to get a vacation house. I'm not saying I'm doing something and telling you shouldn't. But I didn't. The first property, again, you've been down there. We had our personalities retreat down there. But the first one I bought was $103,000. It was one tiny little lot off to the right-hand side of that property, and it was this little bitty brick house from 1974 on it, and it had a boat dock. All I cared about was a boat dock and a place to sleep. That's all I cared about. And a place to put the boat and, have fun and ski the kids and tube the kids and all that stuff. And the kids were tiny. And, now all these years later, we bought several properties adjacent, did some tear downs, some rebuilds, built a nice big home on there now, and all the grandkids, all 7 of them, and there'll be 14, 15 people, the Ramsey clan down there this weekend, for Labor Day weekend, right? Wow. So, but we worked up to that over 25 years, and we paid cash for it, and at no point was it a big percentage of our world, including today.
So it was never a burden.
Yeah.
It was only fun, right?
Yeah, and because it just takes the fun out of it. And also it gets you in the land of stupid real quick.
Oh yeah, and then it gets to the land of justification, and then all of a sudden, one glitch and one flying monkey, and the whole thing comes down.
Yeah, if you got the down payment only, hon, just go rent it.
Yeah,
just go rent it 3 times a year, and until you got the money. And when you got the money, buy it. This is the Ramsey Show. Here. We has launched a brand new listener survey. We want to know what you think about the show. You'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. No purchase necessary. Take the survey at RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789. This is The Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. I'm Dave Ramsey, your host. Thank you for joining us. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey personality, best-selling author, and host of the Dr. John Deloney Show, one of our fastest-growing podcasts here in the Ramsey Network, is my co-host today. He talks about relationships, mental health, anxiety, boundaries, whatever we need to talk about, and we'll mix all of that in as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Again, open phones at 888-825-5225. Matthew's in New York City. Hey, Matthew, how are you?
I'm great, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
So I'm in a little bit of a car situation. Currently, I'm on step 2. No, me and my wife are on step 2. I have $13,000 left in credit card debt to pay off. Currently, we just have one car. I got fleeced 3 years ago, pre-Dave Ramsey. So that is up in February. I'm over the mileage, and I'm going to end up owing $5,000 on it. Also, on top of that, I'm going to need to buy a second car. We just had a baby, and we currently only have the one car, so I'm going to need to buy another car.
Well, and you got to turn that one in February, right?
I have to turn that one in February.
So correct. You got to buy 2 cars.
I have to buy 2 cars, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you make?
Household income is around $220,000.
Well, that's good news. Okay. Well, I think what we have is we have a light at the end of the tunnel, and it's a train coming at us. It's February. Yeah. Between now and February, we got to buy 3 cars, or 2 cars, and we got to pay, and we got to have $5,000, and we got to somewhere, and then sometime after that, we're going to pay off $13,000 in credit card debt. But what's your first priority? Your first priority is to be able to turn this car in, so you need $5,000. Treat that like it's a debt. That's debt number 1 in your debt snowball. Priority number 2 is you currently have 1 car. We need to at least replace the current 1 car, and so another $5,000 for a $5,000 car is number 2. And number 3, I guess we can get the second car before we pay off the credit card debt. What do you think?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so that's another $5,000. So I need $15,000 to do the car flip, and I need $13,000 to pay off the student loan, or to pay off the credit card debt. Credit cards. I'll get it spit out here in a minute. So you need $28,000, and you make $200 between now and February. Yeah. If you do all of that by February, you're debt free and have 2 paid for cars that are worth $5,000 each. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think you can do all that. You make a god awful amount of money. It's awesome. I'm proud of you. But you're not gonna do nothing else. Don't talk to me about going out to eat or going on vacation. You have a car crisis, and you still have credit card debt, and you make $250,000 a year, which is just straight up stupid. So you've got to clean this up, right?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. So so I can find a car basically find 2 used cars for $5,000.
Yeah, that sounds good. What do you do for a living, man?
I work for the sanitation department in New York City, so I need a car with all-wheel drive, because when it snows, that's my main job, is to plow the streets. So I need to be able to get to work.
Get to work. That's right. So is there going to be any sort of? Well, let me just say it this way: you're going to have to get over any sort of ego you got about the salary you have and rolling into work with a $5,000 car, because your coworkers are going to give you grief, appropriately so, and you're going to have to just smile and say, "I don't owe nobody nothing," right?
Yeah.
You're going to have to get over that.
And by the way, I don't want you to drive a $5,000 car the rest of your life. I'm just trying to get you past February.
Mm-hmm.
After February, you have zero debt, right?
Yeah, I have zero debt.
And you make $200,000 plus a year, right?
Yes.
And so once your emergency fund is saved up, I would save up and move up in car.
Okay.
With cash.
Yeah.
And so I'm asking you to drive a $5,000 car for less than a year.
Okay.
But if you'll drive like no one else later, you can drive like no one else.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I drove hoopties after I went broke, and people made fun of me. I had one, the vinyl roof was torn loose across the top, and when you drove it, it filled up there and looked like a parachute going down the interstate. And I was so embarrassed.
I've had that car too.
I was so embarrassed. It was so, I would, can you get to work every day with it? Worse is pulling up into church.
Oh, man.
And my face is red the whole time, and you know what? I just said, screw it. I don't care what these people think.
You can take your hand and you just try to paste it on, and then we just slowly poof back down.
That's it. That's it.
Man.
No, that's the headliner. I'm talking about the vinyl roof on top.
Oh, on the outside, like
it tore it loose across the front and filled up there.
Oh, mine fell down on the inside.
No, this was the opposite of aerodynamic. Yeah. Sharon is on the line in Louisville, Kentucky. Hi, Sharon. How are you?
Hi, Dave. I'm good. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Well, I have a beautiful daughter who's a junior in college, and she wants to be a veterinarian. We have helped to pay for her undergraduate, and she received scholarships that help to pay for that.
Great.
But the next level of graduate school is going to have to be out of state because we don't have an in-state veterinarian school in Kentucky.
Really?
And
the state of Kentucky, horse country, does not have a vet school.
Wow.
I'm flabbergasted.
We asked that question when we visited the University of Kentucky, and they said it was too expensive. It was cheaper to have a relationship with Auburn for in-state tuition for a certain number of Kentucky students than to have a school.
Huh. Well, what about Tennessee? They got a big vet school.
Tennessee does have some veterinary schools, yes, but again, out of state for us.
And they don't have the relationship with Kentucky because it's just across the line.
That's correct.
Does that hold for graduate school? Because most graduate schools set a across-the-board tuition that's not contingent on residency status. Usually that's an undergraduate thing. Have you checked the prices of the Tennessee vet schools?
It has been a few years since I have looked it up. I looked it up more when she was in high school.
Okay. Check on that. Check on that because I know there's, last I looked, it's been a couple years, but there's a shortage across the country on vets, and there was a groundswell of a push to how can we increase the number of grad students. And when that happens, usually there's a collapsing of the tuition of some sort or high scholarship incentives, or they waive state fees and all that kind of stuff. So I would definitely go sit down with those schools and leverage that the best you can.
Sharon, John has a PhD in higher ed, so he's played in this sandbox a bunch. So he's not just making this up. He's not just making this up. University of Tennessee Knoxville's vet school is huge and awesome, by the way, and so is Auburn's. You mentioned Auburn. They both are great vet schools. Both have great reputation. But I would just be shopping my tail end off and find the best deal, just like you did when you put her through undergrads, how you get her to go through. And just be careful. Don't run up $400,000 to be a vet. This is the Ramsey Show. What makes our show unique is that we genuinely care about our listeners. We're intentional about choosing the best advertisers to recommend. Blinds.com is no exception. They offer high-quality window treatments at unbelievable prices, and they make it simple to shop blinds, shades, and interior shutters with easy online ordering, free shipping, and a guaranteed perfect fit. Go to Blinds.com and take advantage of this week's special savings. to hear from you what you think of The Ramsey Show, and we're doing a survey about The Ramsey Show. And we'd love to have you take the survey. If you'll do it for a few minutes, we'll be in the drawing for a $100 Amazon gift card. Text the word survey to 33789. Take a moment and tell us what you think about what's going on around here. We love to hear that you love Dr. John Deloney. And if you have negative things to say, don't take the survey. No, I'm kidding.
That's right. Send them to kelly.daniel.
Yeah, only send Kelly the hate mail. Text, because we're sensitive. Text survey to 33789 or visit ramseysolutions.com/survey. In all seriousness, we'd love to hear from you. Our question of the day comes from Blinds.com. Find out for yourself why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. You get free samples, free shipping, and with the new promos they run every month, you'll save even more. Use the promo code Ramsey to get the best possible deal.
All right, today's question comes from Jennifer in Kansas. My husband is 100% sure that the world will end soon or martial law will take effect and money will not hold any value. Because of this, he will not save. He has business and personal credit card debt. He has zero savings and spends his money as fast as he makes it. He's up to date on his payments but has no interest in paying them off so he can start saving. I am currently saving as much as possible and will have the last of my debt paid off later this year. I have life insurance in place for all of us and a 401k. He will also be able to draw my pension at my old job if I should pass before he does. I feel like I'm the only one preparing for our future, and honestly, it's hurtful. I don't know how to get through to him that even though the world may end in our lifetime, we should still be responsible with our money and be prepared. How can I get through to him? Dave, how can she get through to him?
Well, I mean, the extreme way you've explained him, this is not somebody who's merely a prepper. This is not someone who is merely feels like that the culture is deteriorating. This guy is so sure, he's so paranoid that the whole thing is going to crash down, that he, according to you, this is according to Jennifer, that he is doing nothing responsible. He's just living his life today. Now, or he's a complete liar, and this is his excuse for being a freaking child.
Right.
And doing whatever he wants to do. Either way, this guy is exercising at a level of mental illness that is pretty extreme.
Right.
This is a paranoia situation.
Or it's a depression that is lapsed into, I literally can't think through to tomorrow, so I'm just living for the next 5 minutes, the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'll create this narrative, and I will find some websites that will back up my narrative.
Well, there's 1,000 of these conspiracy
millions of them,
websites, and all you got to do is watch the news, and it makes them all come true.
That's exactly right.
And but they're not, So let me just tell you that the world has problems, and the world has always had problems.
100% of the time.
And but the percentage likelihood of martial law and of you losing all of your personal assets coming together in your lifetime is so small that to believe that 100% to the point that it affects your behavior where you do nothing responsible for your family is called paranoia. That is a mental illness level. This is not merely we have a disagreement about how life works. This is your husband is mentally ill.
And so let me...
Am I wrong?
No, and in fact, here, Dave, I had a season of life when I had, you and I have talked about this, I had mapped out in a very beautiful mind kind of way where this data point led to this one and this one, and I wasn't well. And I had come to figure out that the housing market was going to recollapse and they were going to have to nationalize housing. I had created this whole world. And so I was going to cash out this and go do this. And I'll never forget sitting with the CFO of a $200 million company. I sat down and explained what I was about to do with my retirement. I was going to cash it out because money's not going to. And I remember him gently looking at me and saying, I don't really understand this. Please don't do this. And I left that meeting and I thought, he doesn't see it. He didn't get it. And I'm a guy that barely knows how to work a spreadsheet, right? So here's the thing. When somebody is in this position, data and facts don't help a lot. When somebody in this position needs to go get help.
Yeah.
I had to go sit down with somebody and say, I'm seeing the world different than everyone around me who loves me, and I need some help.
Yeah.
And you're right. The world's got problems. It does. One of my close friends gave me a quote that has stuck with me forever. And he said, John, I got a lot of plans, but I don't have a Meteorite plan. If a meteorite hits us, I will deal with that on that day. And the idea that suddenly money's going to hold no value and tanks are going to roll on every street, if that happens, I'll deal with that on that day. And until then, I'm going to be responsible and care for my wife, who feels like she's drowning over here by herself, and we're going to go from there.
Yeah.
He's not going to give in to that because it's futile, right? Yeah. It's just futile.
Yeah, there's he needs to see.
He needs help.
He needs to see a counselor.
Yeah.
He needs help.
So, Jennifer, no amount of you sitting down trying to explain stuff to him is going to help.
How can I get through to him? You can't.
You cannot.
You cannot, because his brain is not functioning properly.
Right. If somebody in his life that he is somebody that he trusts that would sit down with him and say, hey, let's go talk to somebody, great. If you say, hey, I'm going to go talk to someone, I'd love you to join me, that'd be great. But he needs to get some help.
Yeah. And by the way, he doesn't think he needs help, so that's probably going to be very difficult. So, but just to, the point is that this is not, you're not going to solve this riddle. You don't have the tool set.
I did have a friend that came and spoke truth to me. My wife spoke truth to me, and I wasn't this bad. But that was helpful. It was two people that I trusted, and I said, I'm going to go talk to somebody then.
Yeah. Well, I think you might get some guidance from a good counselor if you were seeing one on how to deal with this situation. Because here's what's ultimately going to happen, okay? Having dealt with couples in your situation for 30 years, one of two things is going to occur. And there's really not much middle ground. There's not a third thing. It's one of two. He is going to recognize this, get some help, and gradually over time get better, and your lives are going to get better and get more normalized, and you're going to be able to aim at a future and build some wealth and get out of debt and start living reasonably. And you're going to start taking some incremental, not instantaneous, but some incremental steps in that direction, which will give you hope. If that does not occur, 100% of the time, at some point you are going to boil over. A switch is going to flip, and you're going to be done. And there's going to be no talking you back. Because when ladies in particular are done after holding their breath for a decade or for 3 years or for whatever, when they're done, you can't switch them back on. You can't switch them back into love mode.
You're in resentment, and that's ash.
It's
right?
over.
That's right.
It's over. And because they reached that I've had it moment, and they really have had it, and they're really gone. And so don't let that happen to you. It's going to happen to you if you don't control the process. Now you can control the process, and you say, okay, I'm gonna give him this much time. I'm gonna try these 5 things to encourage him. And at that point, I'm gonna call this because this relation. I can't be married to a crazy person, and he is mentally ill, darling. He's mentally ill. We just diagnosed it.
Dave, some of this feels like a self-fulfilling prophecy to me. That if you get enough people saying, well, money's going to be of no value, so let's just blow it all and run up all of our debts and go. But that's the quickest way for money to have some serious problems, right? Is that fair? I don't know enough about monetary policy that it just feels like we're starting to see
what Rabbi Lapin says. He says money is not actual, it's spiritual. So when I give you a $100 bill, the actual paper is not worth $100.
Right.
It's a spiritual transaction of trust. And so when I give you a $100 bill, you accept that $100 bill for $100 in goods and services, or eyes get big and you say thank you, or whatever it is, because you trust that you can take that and do something with it. And so what you're saying is, and it's a valid point, that if enough people lose that trust, then the money is destroyed.
Or if enough people act so ridiculously.
I mean, if you lose, if 90% of the people lose trust in the money, the money is no longer currency.
There you go.
There's no current to it.
Right.
So, I mean, I've got some Confederate money from before the Civil War.
Oh, wow.
During the Civil War.
Yeah.
You know what you can buy with that? Nothing.
Right.
There's no trust associated
Should we have
with
a vested interest in saying, hey, instead of running from this and acting like children, let's lock back and try to get some
Let's build together. Let's build civilization together.
Good grief, yes.
Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Tim and Sarah and Gunnar are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Great. How are you?
Welcome.
Hey,
where do you guys live?
Atlanta, Indiana.
Okay. Very cool. Which is near?
We're just north of Indy, about 30 minutes.
Okay. We'll call it Indy. Okay. Indianapolis area. And you're here to do a debt-free scream. How much did you pay off?
$105,000.
All right. How long did this take?
28 months.
Oh, ding, ding. And your range of income during that time?
We went from about 150 to right around 210.
Wow. Nice jump in 28 months. What kind of debt was the $105,000?
We were pretty normal, Dave. Lawnmower, motorcycle, student loans, truck.
You financed a lawnmower, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, 0% interest, right?
Pay for it later.
That's great. So, what got you on this journey 28 months ago?
We blew it out for Christmas in 2018 and, almost went bankrupt, spending all of our money there. And the day after Christmas, our furnace went out and we didn't have the money to pay for it.
Whoa.
And looking at our income, and we make way too much money to not be able to afford an emergency like this. So I had to go to the bank and get a credit card to pay for a furnace. And I said, never again.
Something's got to change.
Yeah,
absolutely. This level of stress, this level of uncertainty is not okay.
Yep.
So what did you do? What was your journey like from there?
I'll say the first thing we did, my sister got us, was the Financial Peace University for Christmas. So that really kicked us off. It was perfect timing, I think, for us.
Oh, okay. So the same Christmas that the furnace went out, Financial Peace University's under the tree. A little cold in there, but the FPU's under the tree.
Do we read it or use it for firewood? That's right. So who had the conversation with who?
Well, I've been listening to Dave since 2006, and I wanted to go on this journey 10 years ago, but we didn't see eye to eye on it, and life kind of took hold of us, and we got back on track shortly thereafter because of the furnace.
Okay, so you got the box out from under the tree, and both of you went to class?
We
Absolutely.
did together. Mm-hmm.
All right. And was it hard to go to class, or when you went, were you just so ready that whatever it said, dude, we're going to do it?
No, we were going to make it work.
Yeah, we were ready.
Both of you?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Both of us.
At the same time this time?
Yes.
At the same time.
Yeah.
I think that goal setting too in the book, when you sit down and talk together about what your future will be, that's really significant for me, and I think that a lot of people don't realize that you have to have a goal to work towards, and so doing that together was helpful.
Yeah, dreaming about the future and making it very, very, very clear of what that's going to be.
Just a crystal clear picture of it. Yeah.
This is what life's going to look like, and here's what we're going to pay a price to get there, but it's worth it. We're going to get there.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool. 28 months later, $105,000 later, you're done.
That's
That's
right.
pretty cool.
That's very exciting.
That's pretty cool.
It's mind-blowing.
What do you tell people the key to getting out of debt is?
Well, for me, it was Ramsey Solutions, the Ramsey Plus app, and Every Dollar Budget. Being able to actually see how that app tracked every single dollar, almost every penny that we spent, was eye-opening. I think we both had some aha moments when we realized how much we were spending on fast food alone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was it for me. And then
Well, paying for food with cash is huge because you get to keep that money in your wallet instead of swiping it away with the debit card. You get to it doesn't seem like it's there anymore. You don't realize it's going away
when it's a debit card, you don't feel it.
Right.
Or credit card. Yeah,
you feel it with cash.
Yeah, but with cash, it's like, ouch, we just bought something. Yeah.
So you've got this extraordinary, handsome young man with you here. 2018, you blow out Christmas. 2019, 2020, I'm assuming Christmas looked a little different in the Gunner home. And yet I see him still smiling and breathing. Tell us about that transition.
Yeah, I think I don't think he realized really. He didn't. I don't think he felt it as probably as we did. But we're also doing Financial Peace Junior with him now, so he's at an age where he can comprehend all the things that we're listening to and doing together. And we've been practicing debt-free screams for a long time together.
Contentment was huge for us. It really didn't seem terribly sacrificial for us to start this journey. We spent a lot of time at our dinner table instead of going through the fast food, and we spent time doing things that don't take a lot of money, like going fishing, and that it doesn't cost a lot to go fishing, and it's really, really meaningful. So
yeah,
contentment's huge.
Yeah, I think it's a secret weapon. It might be the most powerful of all financial principles, is to be able to be content. You can avoid debt, you can save, you can be generous, you can do all kinds of things when you're content. Yeah, but discontent, man, it costs like a lot of money because you spend a lot of money trying to find contentment, and it's expensive.
So have you guys had that 1 month where there's no payments, but the check still deposits?
Oh yeah, we've had a few now. It's awesome.
Tell us. Look at you smiling, man. Tell us about it.
Well, when you get at the end of the month and you're doing your budget, you're like, oh man, we've got this much left over. I'm just going to go ahead and slip this into this account, or add that 15% to the to our retirement, or add it to his college fund, and or maybe go eat out at a restaurant, or take a trip to Nashville. It's really.
Do you know what, you could see your face, man? You just lit up just thinking about it. That's incredible, man. Good for you guys.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well done. Very well done, you guys. Outside of the two of you, who was cheering you on?
My sister is our biggest cheerleader.
She's the one sent the FPU kit.
Yes, actually, she's listening live right now. So Laura
That's
Rapp,
cool.
yes.
Hey, Laura.
Well, thanks, Laura. We appreciate the business. We appreciate you taking care of your sister. That's awesome. Very, very cool. Good.
And then Tim, you and I met at Entree Summit, so you've taken this stuff to your business too, huh?
Well, it was kind of ironic. It explains part of the jump in pay. I took a new job, and my boss is a big Ramsey person, and we didn't know that, but I was a Ramsey person, and she was a Ramsey person, and she took me to Entree back in May, and then we're going again next year in Florida, and really looking forward to it. But I try to really live and embody these principles every day in my personal life and at work too. So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's a great jump in pay. Well done. Good, guys. Excellent. Proud of you. Well done. Now you're free. How's it feel?
It feels amazing.
Great. Weight lifted off all of our shoulders, and we can breathe for a little bit and then jump right back into
tackling
4, 5,
house.
and 6.
Yeah. Now it's intentional, not intense.
Right.
So you're going to get there before you know it. So very, very well done. Well, we've got a copy of The Legacy Journey for you. That's the next chapter in your story to go on and be baby steps millionaires. That's the next thing coming up for you. And, of course, on top of that, we got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away. Put it under somebody's tree right before their furnace goes out.
That's right.
For sure. Yep. That's how this stuff works. Got to pay it forward now. All right, Tim and Sarah and Gunner. $105,000 paid off in 28 months, making $150 to $210. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1.
We're debt-free! That is awesome.
That's so cool, man.
I know that childhood trauma sticks with you through your whole life, but also standing on a stage in front of lights with your mom and dad, who for 28 months have been sacrificing, and you got to come to this weird thing, a debt-free scream. There used to be this guy back when I was a kid back in Tennessee that did these debt-free screams, and that was before Daddy made his first $1 million.
That's right.
And you're sitting there telling your kids that, and you got $20 million.
Yep.
And that's Gunner.
Yeah, and that's those moments when you can tell your kids, yeah, Dad used to be grumpy, and then all of a sudden, he smiled all the time, and we started going fishing, and he tried to cook. That wasn't great, but Mom helped, and then it's those moments like everything changed, right?
Yeah.
And
that's called changing your family tree.
That's incredible, man.
It's called change. And you know what? The interesting thing is that if you're listening to us right now, you can do it.
You can do it.
You. Yeah, I'm talking to you. I know you're driving on the interstate. You think I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to you right now. You can do this. I'll shut up. Stop your whining. You can do it. This is The Ramsey Show. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Kevin is in Denver. Hi, Kevin. How are you?
Well, pretty good. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
Well, I could use some help with getting my debt snowball going, and I'm having trouble with the zero-sum budget. I believe I'm on baby step number 2.
Okay. You got $1,000?
5.
You have $5,000?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, baby step 1 is $1,000. Baby step 2 is we list all of our debts, smallest to largest, pay minimum payments on everything but the little one, and attack the little one with any money we can find from any source, and that would include $4,000, which is the 4 above the 1, and so we're going to throw that at the smallest debt. That's definitely going to get you rolling. What's your very smallest debt?
My smallest debt is, I believe, $230.
Good. All right, it's gone. What's the next one?
What's that?
What's the next one?
The next one is, I have it right here, $5,315.
You go from $250 to $5,000?
Well, see, I have a life insurance loan, I have a retirement loan, and the only other, all my utilities are basically paid. I got them on automatic pay.
Yeah, so utilities are not a debt. That's a budget item. Okay.
Yeah.
So you and life insurance going to be gone. Are you healthy? Can you get life insurance?
Actually, I have some issues. You know, I have obesity, high blood pressure. Well, actually, it's not high anymore, but I have a history of it.
Yeah, if you can get some term insurance, it'll probably be cheaper than the whole life, and then the whole life being canceled will pay off that loan. That is not a loan you want to repay. That's a loan you want to get rid of by getting rid of that policy. How much do you owe on your retirement account?
$3,056.07.
Okay, so your second smallest debt is the retirement account.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you had $4,000 in your hand, you could pay off those first 2 debts, correct? Do you have any other debt?
I do. I have student loans. Both me and my wife have. I have $63,000 in student loans, and my wife has $119,000.
Ooh, what do you guys make a year?
A little over $100,000.
Okay. All right. Now then, so we knock off these 2 little first debts, and we're going to, with some of the money you had in savings, taking you down to $1,000. We're going to get you on that zero-based budget and get you going, and meaning that every dollar just has an assignment before the month begins. Each and every month, every dollar has an assignment. That's all it means. The Every Dollar app will help you do that, and I'm going to sign you up for a year for Ramsey Plus. And that's going to allow you and your wife to go through Financial Peace University. There's a really good bunch of lessons in there on how to do that zero-based budget, and the Every Dollar Premium app is part of it. I'm going to pay for all of it and give it to you free. The only thing I ask that you do is you get your butt out of debt, get yourself straightened up, and then you go help somebody else someday with your generosity because you're not broke anymore. That's what I want you to do. So you hold on, and Kelly will get you signed up, and we'll get you moving in the right direction.
And here's the deal, Kevin. When you and your wife sit down every week and say, what's our budget look like? Go ahead and say, what is our calendar going to look like? What are 3 or 4 things we can do to move our bodies this week? We go for a walk together after dinner? Can we go for a walk in the morning together when we're just going to look out and not even say anything to one another, to have our coffee, whatever it is? But what you're going to see is a level of intentionality that starts with your money, that ends up with your marriage and your relationship and your calendar and what work looks like and what physical fitness is going to look like. And you're going to find, you said you're struggling with obesity and high blood pressure, you're going to find that that level of intentionality is going to begin to slowly invade all corners of your life. And you're going to wake up in a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're going to be out of debt. You're going to be making a little bit more money. Your marriage is going to be different. Your health is going to be different. And all of this stuff begins to work together with that one magic word, intentionality, right?
There's a saying that discipline begets discipline.
Every time.
But what really happens is that once you take the initiative in one area of your life, whatever that area is, and you say, I can control my behavior in this area, and then you have some success with that, it just says, well, I could control this other area then.
That's right.
And then, maybe I could control this other area. The number of times that we see someone get out of debt, simultaneously improve their marriage, simultaneously lose weight. And it's not because they weren't eating, because they were living on beans and rice. That's not the point. It's just the discipline thing. We had a guy in here one time did a debt-free scream and lost 260 pounds while he was getting out of debt. I mean, it was an amazing story. We actually did a YouTube special on him and put it on our YouTube channel. It was a beautiful story. But there's that thing of, once I know that I can make me do something,
I can do hard stuff. That's right.
Then I know I can make me do something else and something else and something else. There's a confidence that builds in your ability to control your environment.
And there's this confidence that's built with, Dave, we are so beholden to these magical things called feelings. I don't feel like working out this morning. I don't feel like eating. I feel like eating that instead of that. I feel like buying this thing. And there's something about learning, here's a budget, and I want to buy this, but I'm not going to because I said I wasn't gonna. And then you start to realize, oh, I need to feel these feelings, but they don't always tell me the truth. They don't have to live by them anymore. And I didn't feel like running this morning, Dave. You probably didn't feel like getting up and going for what, but we did it, and we're going to do it again tomorrow, and you're going to do it again tomorrow. The feelings sometimes don't matter. It's that discipline. I can do it. I can do hard stuff. I can do hard stuff.
If you live only by feelings, that's the definition of being a child.
There you go.
I mean, adults are allowed to have feelings, but not live by them.
You got to challenge them.
Yeah,
that's right.
Adults devise a plan and follow it. Children do what feels good.
That's right.
Because when you're basically a child, whether you're living in an adult body or not, all you do is what feels good.
Whatever feels good.
I don't feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I'm in love anymore. I don't feel like I want to be a dad anymore. I don't feel like I want to be a mom anymore. I don't feel like I want to work anymore. I don't feel like and everything's about you, you selfish little brat, And we've all got that kid that lives inside of us. But this thing called growing up is when you say, in spite of the feelings, I'm also going to do what is wise. Yeah. And what is good and what is noble, and
do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Do it anyway.
I'm going to go for a walk this morning. I know it's raining, but I haven't missed a day in 517 days, and I'm going for a walk this morning.
I know that me and my wife are not talking great. I'm still going to get up and make her coffee, right? And I'm still going to say good morning, how are you? I'm still going to do those things even when I don't feel like it, and you're going to see that just bear fruit over years and years later, man.
And that's what's so weird about this whole get out of debt thing. It's like the debt snowball. Okay, we just paid off the first 2 debts.
Right, just now.
Did it while he was on the air.
On the air.
And, he hadn't done it yet, but I told him what to do. And so, that gives you this sense of, oh, look at that. I can control this.
I can just do this.
I can make some progress.
And we make $100,000 a year. Let's save it up for next month, the next month, and pay off the next one, right? Let's get on it.
Let's get this next
You actually took off 3 of them because he's going to go and cancel that whole term policy. He's going to get a
whole life policy,
a term life policy, and he's going to go from there, right?
That's a good point. Yeah.
So he got 3 debts taken off in one phone call, right? So it's just that I don't feel like it. I'm going to do it anyway.
And you know what? He didn't pay anything for that.
No, free advice.
And I gave him the whole thing.
From a couple of handsome guys. That's what you get, man.
Where are they?
I don't know. They're back there with Kelly and Ben. Yeah.
The next segment is on delusional, yes.
Oh, man. I wish everyone can see the power of saying, I don't feel like it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And you do that 30 days, and you do it 60 days, you do it 90 days, and literally everything in your life changes. Everything. And you begin to build new brain synapses. Your brain changes, your body changes, your mind changes, your money changes. Everything changes. It takes 30 days, 60 days, 90 days.
But what happens when you build confidence like that? That's called faith, hope.
Yes.
And hope you can control.
That's right. You can decide to look for it.
Yeah. And when you don't have it, it's called a broken heart. Mm-hmm. The proverb says, hope deferred makes the heart sick.
That's right.
But when desire comes, it is the tree of life.
I love it. You can go looking for beauty and hope. You can find it.
And you can actually manufacture it.
Every single day. Oh, I love it, man.
Little hope factory. There we go. Dr. John Deloney, Ben and Kelly in the booth. Good hour. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. We just launched a brand new listener survey. We want to know what you think about the show. You'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. No purchase necessary. Take the survey at RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789. Ramsey Show. You can be intentional about your character. You can have money and a career. You are the hero in your story. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Dollar Car Rental Studios, it's the Ramsey Show, where debt is dumb, cash is king, and the paid-off home mortgage has taken the place of the BMW as the status symbol of choice. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. We're talking about your life and your money. Dr. Deloney on his show talks about all kinds of relationship things, mental health issues of all kinds, boundary issues of all kinds, and we weave those into the Ramsey Show when he's along with us, and sometimes we do when he's not, and we just reference him. So we're glad he's here today. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Curtis is with us. Curtis is in Lexington, Kentucky. Hi, Curtis. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you, Dave.
What's up?
Well, I got a question. Like you tell so many other people, I think I know what you're going to say, but I wanted to ask anyway.
Okay.
I've got $20,000 worth of credit card debt, and it's charging me around 24% interest. And so I was wondering if I was thinking about refinancing my house because I can save 2% on my mortgage and doing a cash out to pay off the credit cards, or do a HELOC, which would be around 7 or 8%, and pay off the credit cards and pay off the HELOC faster than I'm going to do paying minimum payments on the credit card.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What's your household income?
About 45 to 50.
Mm-hmm. You have any money?
No, sir.
Okay.
I got about $500.
Okay. How old are you?
65.
Okay. All right. Well, the problem is that the credit card debt is the symptom of other things going on. And if you paid it off really, really fast, the interest doesn't matter much. Now, it's going to be tough to pay it off really, really fast. You working 40 hours? Do you work 40 hours a week?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What do you do?
I'm in transportation.
Okay. All right. Are you married?
Yes, sir.
And does she work?
No, sir.
How come?
She's on disability.
Oh, okay. So your household income with you in transportation and her disability payments is a total of $45,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, obviously the credit card debt is due to overspending. Can we agree on that?
Agreed.
Okay.
Credit cards have been cut up.
That's good. Good first step. Well done, sir. All right. And so then the trick is to get rid of them as fast as possible. You really can't borrow your way out of debt. You're just moving it around. And so you're right. I'm going to tell you not to move it over onto your mortgage. But that's going to entail that you guys really cut your budget to the bone and do anything you can to create some extra income. And let's get those credit cards paid off very, very quickly. See, the interest rate isn't the problem. It's the debt. We've got to get rid of the debt. That's what's killing you. And then the interest is attached to that. If you want to refinance your mortgage in the meantime and lower your interest rate 2%, if you're going to keep the house, that's a wise thing to do. But no, I would not recommend to cash out because I don't want you to move credit card debt where you bought a steak you couldn't afford and now you financed it 30 years over on the house. And that's what credit card debt is. I mean, it was crap you bought at Target, and now it's financed 30 years over at the house, or it's something else, repair on the car, and now it's financed 30 years over on the house. And so it just sticks in my throat, and I can't tell you to do that. I don't think it's wise long term. Short term, it feels pretty good. And you're right, it does get rid of a high interest rate, but I really, really, really want you to do something to get your income up, your out go down, and slam that credit card debt and say, hey, sometime in the next 18 to 24 months, it's going to be gone. That means $10,000 a year extra coming from somewhere, part-time job, something, and attacking that and forcing it and getting rid of it. But I'm proud of you for cutting up those cards. That's a big first step. And since I'm in the old dog club too, I can say this: it's tough for us old dogs to learn new tricks. I'm proud of you for doing that.
And can I tell you, just for some encouragement here, I've watched my dad's 70, and I watched him transition a couple of different positions over the last few years, and he's found something that he just absolutely loves about 2 years ago. And so still within the same basic realm of his expertise, but I want to encourage Curtis. It may feel like I'm 65, no one's going to hire me, I can't do anything else, so I'm just stuck doing this thing. That may or may not be true, depending on where you live and what you want to do and what you're willing to invest to learn something new. And I've watched my old man do it. It's pretty neat. Curtis, I think you can do it. And like Dave said, there may be some late nights of driving and driving on top of driving, but just get this stuff out of your life, and you're going to stand 6 inches taller when this thing's over.
Yeah, it changes everything for you. Holler at us anytime, brother, if we can help. Sydney is in San Diego. Hi, Sydney. How are you?
Dave, how's it going?
Great. How can we help?
Okay, well, first of all, we love you. We're debt-free, and all because of you. We just love you so much. But we're wondering, so Disneyland is back open, and we are wondering if it's okay for us to make monthly payments on our Disney passes, just because we're thinking if California shuts down again, will we be out of our money for the passes?
Oh, so you want to buy season passes to Disneyland?
Correct. Yes.
And they have a month. They have a monthly plan or an annual plan.
Yes, and it's an interest-free plan.
And if you quit paying the monthly, does the pass just stop?
Correct.
Okay. Well, that's just like you're buying anything else then. That's more of a subscription than it is a debt.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can stop buying. If you put cable TV in your house and you decide you didn't want it anymore, you stop doing it, right?
Okay.
And you don't have the bill anymore. And that's what this is.
What's the difference between the annual plan and the monthly plan?
Well, the annual plan is $650 up front, and then the monthly plan is $40 a month for 12 months.
So the monthly plan
is cheaper by $200? Something's wrong.
Well, I'm
40 times 12 is 480.
Yeah.
480 is less than 650. They're charging you less for the monthly plan by almost.
Oh, you know what? I think that you also have to make a down payment when you first sign up for the plan.
The monthly plan. Okay, that's probably equal to the difference. Yeah. Okay.
Just do the math, because you may find out that it's 5 months is going to pay for the annual plan, and I understand not wanting to have them holding your money if California shuts down again. But yeah, do the math on it.
Yeah, make sure you got to have the other piece of this. What's the down payment? If the down payment's $400, now you got $880 versus $650. That's not interest free, darling. You know. That's just a different price plan where they made you wish you'd paid interest.
That's right.
This is the Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. You hear us talking about term life insurance all the time because term life insurance can make all the difference financially for your family if you pass away. Your family should not have to worry about money at a time like that. No one should. Our term life calculator makes it easy for you to find the right policy. It shows you how much coverage you need, takes less than 5 minutes to get your numbers, and here's what to expect. First, answer a few questions to give us a snapshot of your life situation. Our free calculator will then tell you how much coverage you need, about 10 to 12 times your annual income, and how long you need to keep the insurance, and then that's the term, and then you'll be able to compare rates and select the best policy at Zander Insurance, our trusted, Ramsey trusted partner. They'll shop over a dozen top insurance carriers, find you the best deal. It's that easy. To get your results, text Term Life to 33789. We'll make all this happen for you for free. That's Term Life at 33789. Chris is with us. Chris is in San Antonio, Texas. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, Dave. How you doing today?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
I can echo that, certainly. So I've been hearing a lot of your advice about life insurance policies, and that's something top of mind right now. I just turned 50 years old, so that's certainly a benchmark moment in my life. And now that I have someone in my life, I have a fiance, and we'll soon.
Uh-oh.
We missed you.
Where'd you go, Chris? Are you going to come back? You wandered off. Chris? I'm going to put you on hold. Kelly will pick up, see if we can get you plugged back in, brother. All right, Travis is in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Hi, Travis. How are you?
Good. How are you, Mr. Dave and Mr. John?
Better than we deserve, sir. What's up?
Well, I'm just wondering. I've got going through a little divorce now. She woke up one day and told me she didn't want me anymore, didn't want to be with me after little almost 3 years, or I'm sorry, 2. Got married in 2019. Well, I've got a little student loan and a little truck loan, gym membership, and student loan is $185 a month. Truck loan is about $375 a month. Gym membership at $20 a month, and I make about $16 an hour with no benefits, a little bit of OT. And my question is, should I buy the house that me and my wife are living in now from my mother at roughly $130,000, or should me and my mother, because it's her house, continue to split the payments of about $300 a month?
Your mother doesn't live there, right?
Correct. She lives on the other side of Nashville, about 2.5 hours away.
Okay. And what is the house worth?
She said my mother's told me she's had offers at right now of $160, just as it sits without anybody coming inside and looking at it. But that's just what people would offer her. That's not an actual agent or an appraiser.
Yeah. How old are you, sir?
I'm 27. Be 28 in December.
Well, sound like you've had a hard year, sir. I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
What I would have you to do before you buy a home from anyone, your mother or anybody else, is to become debt-free, have an emergency fund in place. And,
correct.
So that means we need to clean up. The gym membership is a membership. That's not a debt. But the rest of it is debt we need to clean up. And if you can't get OT at this place, you maybe need to look for some OT somewhere else. As soon as I get off the phone with you, I'm headed to my side hustle to mow yards. Okay, good. Well, you're not afraid of hard work, that's for sure.
No, sir.
And so the on the career side of things, the next question you start asking yourself is, I'm 27, and I make $35,000 a year. So what am I going to be doing when I'm 37 that pays double that? And what steps have I got to take to get there? Those are Ken Coleman type questions, if you've ever listened to him. And yes, so sir. To develop a long-term career path that gets you up and beyond where you are. There is no shame in where you are at all. You're not afraid of hard work. You work hard for the money that you got. I'm proud of you for doing all that. But I don't want you doing the exact same thing, making the exact same money 10 years from now. Do you?
No, sir.
Okay. So what is your plan? What are you going to be when you grow up, so to speak?
Well, I actually just quit my job about a month ago, and now I follow Ken Coleman, and I did jump out on a limb and started my career path. I'm the assistant golf course superintendent at a local golf course here and looking to move up to the head superintendent.
I like it. Okay, well, you're way ahead of me then. All right. I'll step back then and let you and Ken run that path. You're doing a good job with it. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, let's hold off on buying the house till you're debt-free and have an emergency fund in place. And that is also going to give you the side benefit of giving your broken heart some time to heal.
Yeah. Travis, something we do when somebody pulls the carpet out from under us is we start trying to grab for stability. And it feels like buying mom's house is going to give you a foundation. And it's not. It's going to be another albatross around your neck right now because you can't afford it. Okay?
Because I've lived here for 25 years, and this is where I grew up as a kid.
No, I got you. Your heart is looking for a place that's going to receive it back, right?
Yes, sir.
What I want you to do is stop looking at truck payments, stop looking at other payment, find out how much you owe, and get out of debt. And let that be where you begin to get stability. Get stability in taking steps after step after step towards a whole guy. Don't try to look into your past and try to recreate something you've had. And your mom may say, well, then forget you. I'm going to sell the house. If that's what she chooses to do, that's what she chooses to do. Go rent a one-bedroom apartment while you climb out of this mess.
Exactly.
But you can get there, man.
Exactly. So so Ken is giving you a path to run on, and John just gave you some really important words there. The old joke is that broke people tell you how much the payments are, rich people tell you how much debt they got.
Right.
You know, how much down, how much a month? That's the broke people talk. How much is what rich people ask. Right. And so not how much debt they've got, but how much. That's what they say. Not how much down, how much a month. So quit thinking of your debt in terms of payments. Start thinking of it as I have this much car debt, I have this much student loan debt, and I got to get rid of it.
You may have to sell your truck. You do what you got to do, brother. Get out of debt and find that stability walking forward.
Yeah, and that the beautiful thing about that is it gives you something to focus on while your heart is healing.
That's right.
And you don't have to buy a house right now. Yeah. So that house will be there. You're going to get all this done probably in a year and a half, 2 years, and then you'll buy the house from your mom's. Probably what's going to happen. Or you may decide you don't want to live there. That's okay too, by the way. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Scott is in Las Vegas. Hey, Scott, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
How you doing? I just want to thank you, first of all, for your plan and your teachings on goals, because between being debt-free as of today, I will be, I've lost 54 pounds, and you were talking about that in the last statement.
Yeah, look at you.
Dude, way to go.
But my question is, right at the moment, I am uninsurable, and through my current job, I have life insurance, approximately $210,000.
Good.
And I want to know, what if I'm looking to change jobs to get more income? How much of a salary increase would it be worth to make the change?
So why are you uninsurable?
I had a heart attack 4 years ago, and I've had a couple different, they've done some stents 2 other times since then.
Okay.
And I'm obese.
Not as much as you were.
Yeah, you're down 50 pounds, brother.
So you're on your way to solving this long term.
That's right.
Short term, you need the coverages. There's not enough income to just say, "Oh, the family will be okay if I die." I gave up, 2-3 times my salary. So, I'd want to make a lot more if I changed in this short term. In this short term, it's not going to take care of them if you die, but I'd want to make a lot more, because you start to look at some policies that are going to be rated, but you can get them, and that's in your near-term future. Dr. John Deloney, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. In the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage, Ethan and Taylor are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Better than we deserve. How are you?
Better than we deserve. Welcome. Where do you guys live?
We live close to Wilmington, Delaware.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Welcome to Nashville. How much debt have you paid off?
$46,000.
$46,000. How long did that take?
About 7 months.
Wow.
Whoa.
And your range of income during that time?
Started around 73, ended around 76.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I'm an engineer. And I'm a stay-at-home dad. And also, he did some door dashing, too.
Okay. Cool. What kind of debt was the $46,000?
It was 2 cars, some student loans, and some phones.
Wow. Okay. So tell us about your journey. What put you onto this, and what made you decide to do it, and what'd you do?
So the start of the journey was definitely my maternity leave, where I decided to pick up the book that had been sitting on my shelf for a couple years at that point.
The old dust collecting routine.
Yes. It finally called out to me when I had some free time. And ironically, my mom's actually the one that got it for me. And as I started digging into it, her and my dad were hesitant about some of the advice, but obviously we went all in. Yeah. In September, we sold my car, and that's
when we
got real serious. Yes, that was
That's when things got real serious.
Yeah.
Right?
What did you sell? What kind of car?
Chevy Cruze.
Okay. And what did it sell for?
Like 12 or something. We owed like 15.
Okay. And the other car is what?
Honda HR-V.
Okay. All right. Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. So when you start selling cars, the parents are like, I'm sorry I gave you this book, and now you've joined a cult, and I'm worried about you. And yeah.
It was the stopping the 401k contributions that made my dad worry.
Okay. Well, it was a temporary thing, Dad. Come on.
Yeah. He hears you right now, so I'm glad you can tell him that.
I don't blame him. I understand the nerd part of it, but we have found that when people focus on something is when they win at it, and that's what you guys have done. You went all in.
Yep, and so after we sold the car, then we started just playing your show all the time at our house. That's how our 1.5-year-old is a huge fan of you, because she just sees you on TV all the time.
Oh my gosh, well, I'm honored.
And especially the debt-free screams too. When she was first even just learning how to clap, she's always loved to clap for those, so should be exciting to see what she thinks today, for sure.
Oh, that's great. That's fun. So what do you tell people the secret to getting out of debt is?
Let's say the first secret is a zero-based budget. Even people who don't want to hear my Dave Ramsey spiel, I tell them about zero-based budgeting. Like here, minimum, everyone would benefit from zero-based budgeting.
Yeah. Congress.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. And then just being all in, gazelle intent. Don't let anyone convince you not to be all in.
Who had the first conversation with who? That sat down and looked across the table and said, I think we should do this. And
Definitely
you're an engineer, so did you spreadsheet him? No.
Just kind of the broad concepts to get him intrigued by it, I think. You got to start a little bit and work your way in with all the details.
The very mystical baby steps.
Yes.
And you were all in?
Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Just like that.
Just cool. I mean,
well, you did it in 7 months. That's impressive.
Yeah.
You sprinted through.
The big thing, March, so we paid off everything in April. In March, we just had a ton of windfalls. It was like God was saying, hey, you guys are meant to get out of this quickly. And so we had like $12K in windfalls just in March. So that helped speed things up a lot.
And sold a $12,000 car.
That helped as well, yes.
And so that's 24 of the 46.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right. That makes a lot of difference. And then you knock the rest of it in the head. Wow. Very, very good. Cool. So the zero-based budget is the secret. And what else do you tell people?
Just to have a clear goal. Just be focused and
very, very clear. It's nothing gets in the way.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's. It sounds so simple.
It does.
Yeah. Until you start actually doing it, and then all kinds of stuff.
There are legions of spouses right now looking at you, man, thinking, I wish it was that easy. I could just sit across the table and say, that's what we're doing, and you'd go, okay. We'll sell the car tomorrow.
Okay, I'm in.
And have a great day. That's awesome, man. The world needs more Ethans out there.
This is true. Very fun. Very fun. So outside the two of you, who are your biggest cheerleaders?
Probably our parents. Mm-hmm.
Other than they question your sanity.
Terrible advice.
Yeah. Okay.
Towards the end, they were convinced as the numbers starting, to go in our direction. Like, oh, might actually be good.
Yeah. Look at that. They're free.
Yeah.
How's it feel to be free?
Great. Incredible.
Yeah. Was it worth selling the car to get it?
Oh, yeah.
It was worth every bit of it.
Absolutely.
All the windfalls, throwing it all at it, everything.
Mm-hmm. You get so much more control. You can see your budget, and as you pay off the debt, more and more is in your control, and you can say, this is where I want that to go, not to that payment, not to that other bank, for them to build their skyscrapers.
What was it like in May or June when you got your paycheck deposited and then you didn't have any bills?
It was crazy.
It's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah, just start to see the numbers go up in your emergency funds. That first time, going from 1K to 2K, it's like, whoa, it doubled.
Yeah. That's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
What was the hardest part of this for y'all?
Staying focused, I guess, when not many people are Ramsey-minded.
Yeah. That's true. That makes sense. Okay, cool. And you brought the 1.5-year-old with you.
did.
What's her name?
Emily.
Emily is 1.5 years old, and she's been practicing clapping to her debt-free screens as long as she's been clapping.
Indeed.
That's awesome. What a way to learn how to clap. I like it. That's good stuff. We got a copy of the Legacy Journey for you. That's for sure your next chapter in your story. You are changing little Emily's legacy for sure. And we got a copy of the Total Money Makeover for you to give away so it can collect dust on somebody else's shelf until it calls out to them. So that's how it's supposed to work. It's the world's largest coaster on the coffee table.
Little girl.
She is precious.
My goodness.
Cute.
Look,
fun stuff. All right. Hey, kiddo. What's up? All right. Here we go. Ethan, Taylor, and Emily, Wilmington, Delaware, $46,000 paid off in 7 months, making $73,000 to $76,000 a year. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
3, 2, 1. We're debt-free.
I love it. Oh, that's fun. That is exactly how this is supposed to work. Well done, well done. Patrick is in Tampa. Hi, Patrick. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Oh, hi. Thank you for taking my call, Dave.
Sure. What's up?
All right. Now, I've been working on your baby steps for a while now. I'm trying to eliminate all my debts out. Now, unfortunately, there is a collection that's on my record that's been on there for since 2018 that I really do not want to pay because it really shouldn't be my responsibility to pay that.
Why?
So, because here's the thing. That collection came from an apartment complex that I moved out of in 2017 that they gave me, that me and my brother moved out of. So when we moved out, they gave us the okay to go live in this new apartment complex. And then when the lease ran up on it, which was around September, I'm not sure when, but it's around that time, me and my brother was already in a different apartment complex. And then while my mother was already, because I was living with my mother at the time, now we was already gone at the time. And then when we decide to go find another place to live in from the new apartment complex we got in, that's when we discovered the collection on our record. So,
why did they put a collection on you? Why did you owe money?
Well, according to the lawyer, because I was living with my mother at the time, and we all signed the lease. That's just me, my 2 brothers, and my other 3 siblings. They said that according to them, that since that our names were on the lease still, and my mother didn't move out at that time, and when the lease was up, it was they were holdover tenants, so therefore we owe the money on it. So.
Actually, they're right and you're wrong. You owe them the money. And so what I would do if I were you is I'd get on the phone with them and create a dollar amount, hopefully at a discount, that will settle with them, and I'd pay them.
Yeah.
And get it out of your life. It's not going away. They got you. You lose. Not only do you lose on a moral basis because what they said actually occurred. She's living in the apartment. She's a holdover tenant. They charged you rent, and your name's on the lease. You guys were irresponsible in how you handled the business transaction, and it came back to bite you in the butt. So you're going to need to go clean it up. Hopefully you can settle it for a few dollars and be done with it, and not only get it off your record, but get it out of your life and out of the back of your mind. And it'll feel good to clean up and do the right thing, because that's really what you need to do here. This is The Ramsey Show. Our scripture of the day, 1 Corinthians 16, 13 and 14. Be on your guard, stand firm in the faith, be courageous, be strong, do everything in love. Henry Ford said, one who fears failure limits his activities. Failure is only the opportunity to more intelligently begin again. Oh, I like that. Failure is only the opportunity to more intelligently begin again. Good stuff. Brandon is in Miami. Hi, Brandon. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Oh, my God. Like, thank you for that, the prayer right now, because thank you guys for being men of faith, too, that you guys are teaching people.
Well, thank you.
And honestly, changing lives. And it's something that I look up to, and I spend hours and hours and hours watching these videos. And I'm not sure, because I started a business a couple years ago, and I was in debt, and I basically started from zero, like handing out flyers to people. And what I do is I clean and ceramic coat boats. So I have an opportunity to make good money, but it's just, I don't feel like I'm that deeply rooted. Like, I'm not passionate about it. So I just wake up and I go do the job, and then it kind of feels sometimes like I'm dragging, and I'm bringing home pretty decent money, but it just doesn't feel purposeful.
What kind of money are you making?
It depends on the job. Like, sometimes.
I mean, what are you making a year?
I really haven't done the numbers that good like that.
Well, you did your taxes, didn't you?
Yeah.
So what'd you pay taxes on?
I think it was around like 40, but the thing was that I also I slack off a lot. It's not that I'm working every single day too. I work once or twice a week.
Okay.
So Brandon, this isn't a passion problem. It's not a job problem. This is a Brandon problem. What you're doing is you're watching a lot of videos trying to find that one spark that's going to get you up and going. And one of the themes of all these videos you're watching is you just got to get going.
Yeah.
It's been my experience. Now, hold on. People get passionate about things they're good at, and you get good at stuff that you practice over and over and over again. And you're not going to get passionate about something. It didn't have to be this job, but you're not going to get passionate about something.
I'm good at it.
Yeah, but you only do it 2 days a week, man. It has nothing to do with the job.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a choice. Why aren't you getting up every day and going and doing it 5 days a week?
I don't know. I don't have that drive for it.
If I gave you any job, I have a feeling that in about 2 months you'd start slacking off. Is that fair?
No.
Okay, good. I'm glad you pushed back. So what do you want to do, man?
See, that's what I was going to say. So I'm doing this business, but then on the side, I've noticed, and it rubs off on me that people are spending ridiculous amounts of money on just basic stuff, and no one has any money saved up, and this is an actual problem that I see going on. So then you guys preach, and I feel like I'm so attracted to it. That's why I spend hours on it, because I resonate with this, and this information I've helped my friends get out of debt, and I've helped them like change their lives. But it always feels like then when I go work for a paycheck, then I'm not into it. So I was thinking that maybe I continue doing what I have to do now for a salary, and then on the side, help people with their finances.
You could start that way. I mean, you could go through the Master Coach training program that we have and learn how to do financial coaching, and maybe just help some people at your church with it at first and see if that lights you up. But in the meantime, it's going to be really good discipline for you to force yourself to work 5 days a week.
Or 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you struggle with depression, man?
Yeah, I guess mental health. But
how long have you struggled with that?
God through all that.
How long have you struggled?
I mean, I've never diagnosed. No.
I know.
But
I know.
It's been my whole life.
Okay, your whole life.
How old are you?
24.
I want you to go talk to somebody. That's going to be your first courageous step. And go tell them that it's hard getting out of bed sometimes. That sometimes it's hard to find motivation to do work, and you find yourself trapped in these internet cycles where you're watching and you love being connected to people in those magic moments. Because this is bigger than that. This is bigger than I just don't have passion for cleaning boats. You may not, and that's okay, man. But this is bigger than that. Like Dave said, the discipline of I'm going to get up every day and go work 6 days a week is, or I'm going to go work.
And that's not the issue, isn't either, because I'm a hard worker. I can go, like this morning, for an example, I woke up at 5 and I got the boat done around 12. And
when you work, you're a hard worker, but you seldom work.
That's exactly. Right. Exactly.
So by definition, that's not a hard worker.
You should have had 3 boats today, or not should have. You could have had 3 boats today and 3 boats every day this week and next week and the week after.
Yeah, I think what's happening is that I think John's telling you something that's very, very important. You're exhibiting the symptoms of someone who is depressed. You've got no energy to get up and do basic things in life. And that is one of the symptoms of someone who's struggling with depression. And I don't think it's a thing that's going to put you in the hospital. I don't think it's going to ruin your life.
Nope.
But I think you're going to, whatever you set your hand to, you're going to struggle with because of this until you deal with this. And I don't know what it was that happened to you that's caused this, but this lack of energy, of focus, of the ability to play through other than in short bursts is an indicator you really do need to sit down and talk to a good counselor. And there's no shame in that, by the way. The shame would be if you don't do it.
Right.
And so these are 2 guys. We're not, we're not psychiatrists. We're not prescribing drugs to you. We don't know any of that stuff. We're just saying our observation of life is that if you were my son, I would put my arm around you and I would walk you to a coach, to a counselor that can walk you through this and say, all right, let's do it. And it might be a fairly short period of time that you learn some things about yourself and all of a sudden you start feeling your energy level come up.
That's exactly right. And when you've been living under a cloud, heavy blanket for so long, it just feels like, well, I'll go look at the next thing, and that thing will light me up, and that will light me up, and then you get little glimpses of joy, little glimpse of that fire coming to light inside of you when you help somebody get out of debt, and that might be your future, man. But right now, that future of going to help people get out of debt is going to turn into the same thing that you're dealing with the boats. It's going to be the same thing that you've dealt with every job you've had since you were a little kid, and that is that. Well, let's just go back to the computer and maybe later. So, man, you are worth going to talk to somebody and having that light on all the time.
Yeah. Brandon, you're a good guy.
Absolutely.
Love yourself enough to go work on this, man. Really do. Again, if you were my son's a couple years older than you, I'd just put my arm around you and I would hold you so tight you couldn't get loose, and we would walk into a counselor's office and I'd sit your butt down. I would walk out and let them talk to you and make you do it, because that's how strongly I feel about it, okay? And that would be a dad loving his son. That's right. That's all it would be. And so that's what I'm doing. That's what we're doing right now. So just feel my arm come around your shoulder. I am not letting go of you. You are walking in there, bud. Now you're doing this, okay? And that's going to change. It's going to help everything. Everybody goes through sometimes that they have dealt with some level of trauma and it knocks the breath out of you.
Yeah.
And so, different people take them longer to get their breath than others, and that's all we're talking about.
That's exactly right. And then sometimes right when you're about to get your breath again, something else pulls you back up. And it's the season, and that's why you need people, whether they're professional or they're friends.
And or.
That's right.
Yeah, you need connection.
You need both of them. But, you got to have people that walk with you. And there's going to be seasons, I don't want to get up and come shoot another show. And you get up and you go again, right?
Do it anyway.
And you do it anyway. And if you can't do that, that's that blanket on you. Go talk to somebody.
Yeah, that, by definition, then, is hard work.
That's right. Good for you, Brandon. Thanks for calling, man.
Absolutely. Good job, John. Good job, Ben and Kelly in the booth. I am Dave Ramsey, your host. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus. Dave Dave here. We just launched a brand new listener survey. We want to know what you think about the show. You'll be entered to win a $100 Amazon gift card. No purchase necessary. Take the survey at RamseySolutions.com/survey or text survey to 33789.